नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 19, entitled King Yayati Achieves Liberation, Text 15. यदा न कुरुते भावं यदा न कुरुते भावं सर्वभूतेषु अमङ्गलं सर्वभूतेष्वमङ्गलं समदृष्टेः तदा पुंसः समदृष्टेस्तदा पुंसः सर्वाः सुखमयाः दिशः सर्वा सुखमया दिशः यथा न कुरुते भावं सर्वभूतेष्वमङ्गलं समदृष्टेस्तदा पुंसः सर्वा सुखमया दिशः यथा न कुरुते भावं सर्वभूतेष्वमङ्गलं समदृष्टेस्तदा पुंसः सर्वा सुखमया दिशः. Yada, when, na, not, kurute, does, bhavam, a different attitude of attachment or envy, sarvabhuteshu, to all living entities, amangalam, inauspicious, samadrishtehe, because of being equipoised, tada, at that time, pumsaha, of the person, sarvaha, all, sukamayaha, in a happy condition, dishaha, directions. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhajacharana Aravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. When a man is non-envious and does not desire ill fortune for anyone, he is equipoised. For such a person, all directions appear happy. Can you repeat the translation? When a man is non-envious and does not desire ill fortune for anyone, he is equipoised. For such a person, all directions appeared happy. Purport. Prabodhananda Saraswati said, Vishwam Purna Sukhayate. When one becomes Krishna conscious by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, for him the entire world appears happy. And he has nothing for which to hanker on the Brahma Bhuta stage. or the platform of spiritual realization, there is no lamentation and no material hankering. Na shochati, na kankshati. As long as one lives in the material world, actions and reactions will continue. But when one is unaffected by such material actions and reactions, he is to be considered free from the danger of being victimized by material desires. The symptoms of those who are satiated with lusty desires are described in this verse. As explained by Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura, when one is not envious even of his enemy, does not expect honor from anyone, but instead desires all well being, even for his enemy, he is understood to be a Paramahamsa, one who has fully subdued the lusty desires for sense gratification. Thus ends the Bhaktivinoda purport and translation to Canto 9, Chapter 19, Text 15 of Srimad Bhagavatam. ममज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणि प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा। So Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport that this verse is talking about the symptoms of a person who has been freed from lusty desires. So, what is the symptom? Yatha na kurute bhavam sarvabhuteshu amangalam. Yadha na kurute bhavam. When yada na kurute bhavam. When one has become free from envy and sarvabhuteshu amangalam. Na amangalam sarvabhuteshu. And when he does not desire ill fortune, amangalam, to sarvabhuteshu, to any living being. So when one becomes non-envious and does not desire any ill fortune for anyone, including his enemy, samadrishtehe, he has come to the platform or point of being equipoised. He has come to the platform of liberation. He is a liberated person. Tada pumsaha sarva sukhamaya dishaha. When it comes to this stage of equanimity, then tada, only then, pumsaha, a person, a human being, sarva dishaha, for him all directions, sukhamaya, appear to be happy. Wherever he goes in the world, he will simply experience happy, sarva dishaha, in all directions. Or at every moment of his life, he will enjoy nectar. He doesn't experience neither material happiness nor material distress. He has transcended both the state of the experience of material happiness and material distress. For such a person, what is suffering? What is lamentation? And what is hankering? He neither hankers for anything material nor he laments for any loss of material things, material persons, material situations, material opportunities, material relationships, material assets. No lamentation. He doesn't lament. So, this is a wonderful state of Krishna consciousness. That's why Prabhupada says, In the last part of the purport, Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur says, when one is not envious even of his enemy, forget others. When one is not envious even of his enemy and does not expect any honor from anyone, honor, respect, recognition, appreciation, including care and concern from anyone, no expectation. But instead, on the other hand, desires the well being of everyone, even for those who didn't care for him, didn't had any concern for him, those who neglected him, even for such persons, including his enemies, he desires only well being. What good can I do to him? What good can I do even to my worst enemy? And what to speak of friend? Such a person actually is understood to be a Paramahamsa. Only in such a person's heart there will be no place for lusty desires, for sense gratification. It is understood that he has fully subdued or fully controlled his lusty desires. 100% free from lust. 100%. Jai Krishna Baladam Golkaj. Prabhupada ki jai. So, when one is non-envious, does not desire any ill fortune, anything bad for anyone, including his enemy, he is considered to be in the position of equanimity, he is equipoised. For such a person, all directions appear happy. Tada pumsa sarva sukhamaya dishaha. In the Bhagavad Gita, 16th chapter, opposite of this is described as the nature of a demoniac person. In the 14th verse, 16th chapter, Lord Krishna says, Asau maya hata shatru hanishye chaparan api ishwaroham aham bhogi siddhoham bhalavan sukhi. So Krishna is saying, Asau maya hataha shatruho. So-and-so is my enemy. I have finished him off. Finished him means not that I have got him transferred. I have got him killed. Asomaya hataha shatruhu. Maya shatru hataha. My shatru, I have finished him off. Then, hanishye cha aparanapi. And aparan, there are many other enemies also. I have many enemies, Prabhu. There are many enemies for me. Hanishye cha aparanapi. And I have some more plans for them also. How to finish them off. How to kill them. I got a clear blueprint. How to kill my enemy and so many enemies who are surrounding me. Then, after killing all of them, Ishwaroham Aham Bhogi. I can enjoy everything in this world. And I am the Ishvara. I am God. He thinks, I am the Lord of everything. Ishvara Aham. And Aham Bhogi. And I am meant to enjoy everything. No restrictions should be imposed upon me. Siddhoham. I am perfect. I don't do any mistakes. I am always right. I don't do anything wrong. Siddha. The idea that I am perfect, always right, and others are always wrong. Siddha aham. Then, Siddhoham bhalavan sukhi. I am very powerful and I am very happy. Although he may be in great anxiety, Aneki Chitta Vibhranta, he may be always disturbed by many, many anxieties, but still he thinks he is very happy in illusion. So Krishna describes these as the symptoms of a demonic person. Ajnana vimohitaha, when one is uh, overcome by ignorance, he is deluded by such thoughts. So sometimes we see in this material, not sometimes, most times we see in this world, we always uh, maintain this nature of envy. Envy we have, but the higher risk is to maintain that envious nature. And we nurture, just like we do gardening, right? So we nurture the uh, flower bearing seed, the flower seed, the fruit seed, we nurture it nicely, the plant, so that it bears nice fruit. So that there are people who nurture envy. Nurture means feeding, watering. We feed envy, sometimes with or without knowledge. Some people consciously nurture envy, even though they know that they are nurturing envy. Consciously they do. Some people, out of ignorance, being little insensitive or naive, they nurture envy. When pointed out, mostly they will correct themselves. But some people consciously, no, Prabhu, this man is not okay. So they nurture envy consciously, which is very risky. There are people, we know in India, especially in some parts of India, who also desire ill fortune for others. Of course, human nature is present everywhere, not only in India, everywhere. Sarvabhuteshu amangalam. Sarvabhuteshu amangalam. They desire ill fortune for others. Sometimes we know people administer black arts. Hmm. They call some tantric, and then they make him chant some specific mantras so that his enemy, his opponent, or whomever he feels that person to be a competitor, to be his rival, through these tantric methods, they desire ill fortune. Recently in Mysore, recently means I'm saying just some few years back, must be going on today also. There's one particular family like that. Hmm. Had a very beautiful, intelligent son, highly capable, and an achiever in all fronts, in education. Then he came to business, he was doing very well. Then he came to politics. He very soon uh, built up very good relationship with high ranking officers, politicians, and could get a lot of things done in the political circle, lot of things done in the bureaucratic circle, the business circle, the friend circle, the family circle. So like that, he was growing and growing and growing and growing. Unfortunately, one man started applying this tantric effects on this young budding youth or young budding man. He is just in his mid 20s, that's all. And you'll be surprised to know that by this tantric method, they killed him. Not by physical weapon, by knife or some gun. Through mantras, they killed him, actually. And you will be even more surprised to know that was his own mother's younger brother. So these things happen. So much envy that this boy is faring up so well. So much envy. You see? So shocking. And this happens very commonly. Very commonly. We see a lot of such cases. Sometimes we are in an instance. Sometimes we see in cinema, right? Nothing is uh, false. They take one container and apply some black, some ash, and this, that, and all. And then they can actually see the other side or the another state what is happening. Or that person is in another city, what that guy is doing, where he is located, like a GPS. Yeah. So they can actually see it's like a screen. They can see by chanting some mantras. Unfortunately, abuse and misuse of the mantra. And then it so happened that in one temple, somebody wanted to uh, apply this black magic art and wanted to kill one Swamiji only. So like that. And so, lot of wrong things were happening in one particular temple. They were wondering, they say a lot of bad symptoms and bad signals. So they called one tantric and then they did the whole thing. Then they found out that through that Anjana, that black, ash mixed with some things. They could see that a lot of nails were placed. Again, not physically. Now, how it appeared, God knows, because there is security around the clock. Still, they have identified nails in the ashram area, nails different places, and some more things which I don't want to describe. Then, of course, anyway, we figured out. So, anyway, devotees, we don't have to worry about prashchitta and parihara and doing the opposite of that to counter this. We just chant Hare Krishna, do extra Sankirtana. All ill effects will be dispelled. We really don't have to worry. So, but the point here is, so this possibility is there. There are people who actually desire ill fortune for the other jivas. So, all of this is in the bodily concept of life. If anyone is better situated materially, interestingly, if anyone is better situated even spiritually, envy is possible. So, even in spiritual circles, envy is possible. Now, what to speak of material circles? Every day they breed envy. Anybody is better performing, immediately envy creeps in. And what will be the action plan for this envious person? How to put him down, bring him down through all ways and means, by defaming that person, by doing something wherein his name and fame will be lost, will be create a scar in his character, all kinds of things. So somebody is in more advantageous position than me, that brings in envy. That brings in envy. So in the Bhagavad Gita, 16th chapter, 16th chapter, no, I think Krishna describes interestingly, Ichchadvesha samuthena dvandva mohena bharata sarvabhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapa. It's interesting. Krishna says that we are born with envy and hatred. See, our birth itself is filled We have taken birth in envy and desire and hatred and desire. Icha, dvesha. Samutena dvandva mohena bharata. And we are born in illusion or delusion. Dvandva mohena bharata. You see our surroundings, our qualifications of our birth. These are our great qualifications. Icha and dvesha. Constantly we are battling between icha and dvesha. Desire, hatred, desire, hatred. So every thinking, sankalpa, which we do, sankalpa means a thought which arises in our mind. Always this thought is based on only two things. For a normal person who is not trained, what is that? Icha and dvesha. Always it will be oscillating. The sankalpa will be either icha, lusty desire, material desire for my own good, my own progress, my own development, not caring for others, or it will be dvesha, hatred. Normally, of a conditioned soul, it is this is the situation. So itta dvesha samutena dvandva mohina bharata. Sarva bhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapa. Sarge. Krishna says sarge means birth. Our birth is like this. Sarva bhutani sammoham, and it is no exception. Sarva bhutani sammoham. Every living being, Krishna is saying, without exception, takes birth in this way and is illusioned by these thoughts and impressions deep in his mind. These are our impressions of a conditioned soul. There can be exception if one is a devotee, otherwise not. So, and this envy, although it manifests in our dealings on a day-to-day basis upon our situations and people, actually the origin of this envy is of the envy of the jiva towards the Supreme Lord. This is a very surprising note made in the scriptures. I may think that I don't like him, he is my enemy. I accept. He is my competitor, he got promotion, he got promoted. I agree. But how do you say that I'm envying God? Because it originates from that point and percolates down to the other jivas and other things around us. You want to know? So, a small list I will tell. How to know that I am envious of God? Really? Are we envious of Lord? Are we envious of God? I don't think so. Let's see. What is the symptom? What are the symptoms that we are envious of God? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, point number 1. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam. Surrender unto me. So when Krishna says surrender unto me, if you can accept that command and order of God, it's fine. But mostly, you say, why surrender to God? Why is God demanding surrender? That means it is a nature of envy. Why he is demanding surrender? Why that person is demanding surrender? Why God is demanding surrender? That means he is envious. Number 1. Number 2, in the all through the scriptures, the primary recommendation is to glorify the Lord. All the verses, the goal of all the scriptures is actually culminating in glorification of God. Everybody is glorifying God, and everybody is told to glorify God in all the temples, without exception. Constant glorification of God. Why so much glorification? Why so much glorification of God? That means the person is envious. Krishna says, Prabhupada says one more place. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita again in the 5th chapter, last verse, Bhoktharam Yagna Tapasam. Krishna says, I am the only enjoyer. See? He's saying, I am the only enjoyer. Just like in a temple or in a friend circle, if I say, I am the only enjoyer. You see how greedy he is, how lusty he is. He is saying everything is for him only. So we are attributing this kind of nature to God also. When God also makes a similar statement, I am the only enjoyer. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam. Of all your hard work, all your pujas, only for me, offer to me, offer to me. So we think why Krishna is no so much exhibition of this enjoying tendency by God. Why he is the only enjoyer? He is so selfish. Why God is so selfish? Is he? Means envy. We're enemies of God. See, we are chanting mantras, we are coming to temple, we are bowing down. But deep in our heart, if we analyze, if this kind of thinking is there in somebody, that means he's envious. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam. Then Krishna says, Sarvalokameshwaram. I am the proprietor of all the planets. Hey, what is this? This man is claiming proprietorship over everything. Nothing for me little. For me little. 130, 40 site. That is also God's only. Nothing mine. Oh, this is not okay. Why God is so selfish? Envy. The fact also remains that he is the owner and proprietor of everything. He is the actual enjoyer of everything, the only Purusha. But then, so our heart is not able to accept. So I'm saying not intelligence. Huh? Our heart is not able to accept it. That's the difference. Even if intelligence accepts, meaning, okay, Shastra says, let me accept. Even further, there is a subtle trap. Sometimes even intellectually or from Shastric viewpoint, you may agree. Deep in your heart, you're not able to digest this fact. This is too much. How God is the proprietor of everything. He is the enjoyer of everything. And further, Krishna goes on to say, Sarva Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. I am the well-wishing friend of everyone. Then Krishna in the Upanishads, it goes on to say, uh, Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadati Kamansi. All these statements disturbs very much a conditioned soul. Lord is the supreme maintainer. Krishna says, Yogakshemam Vahami Aham. I maintain, I supply, I care, I protect. Then Krishna says, surrender unto him utterly. In the 18th chapter, to the Paramatma in the heart, surrender unto him utterly. So we think, why so much exclusive, surrender? So why God is the only maintainer and supplier and caretaker and shelter? Why not me? When it comes to the point of why not me, or extend the form, why not my country, my state, or somebody else other than God? That means he is envious. It is called asuya. So like that, there are many symptoms wherein we can recognize how actually we are envious. See, when I am in that position instead of God, everything seems to be perfect. You see, only when it applies to God, we are not okay. But when all of these things apply to me, we're perfectly comfortable. So we expect shelter of others upon me, my family members, they're depending on me. I feel nice about it. See, when you feel nice, no, that means you're envious. These are all extremely subtle. Hmm? We sometimes come across people who say, Swamiji, Prabhuji, you see, in my factory there are 1,000 workers. They're all depending on me. He feels greatly satisfied. Very big anartha. 100 people are depending on me. I am taking care of them. They're all my family members. I treat them like my family members. He's not treating them like family members. He's thinking Ishvaro Aham. You all come to me. Come to me. I will give you shelter. I will give you food. I will give you salary. I will take care of you. I am Bhagavan. He's not saying that. Except that everything else he is saying. That means Ishvara Bhava. He's envious. But when God says, come to me, I will take care of you. See how much controllership he has got? How much controlling nature? The same thing when we do, perfect. We're not envious. So this is the hypocrisy, hypocritical nature, which a conditioned soul uh, is possessing, is breeding. We want to be the friend of everyone. We want others to take our help, my help. I feel nice about it, right? Somebody comes to me, Prabhu, please help me, Prabhu. Feel very nice, isn't it? Feel very nice. Oh, he has come to me. He wants my advice. He wants my direction. You feel very nice about it. It's a big danger. So you may give advice, you may give direction, you may help him out with some, you may help him out with your experience. Everything is fine. But if we take subtle rasa, enjoyment from that, actually we're in a risky position. We are placing ourselves in the position of God. Because God is the guide, the counselor, the refuge, the director. And I am trying to take that position. It's the envy of God. On the other hand, then you may wonder, the Guru is giving so much direction, ordering, commanding. The authority is ordering, commanding. How are they doing that? Yes, as a matter of duty, as a seva. If this consciousness is dominating, you can still be an advisor, you can control the whole world, the whole universe, and still be a servant, still be non-envious. You can still uh, help out people by giving them food, clothing, shelter, but on behalf of the Lord, then you are perfectly situated. Without uh, that sense of ownership, without that sense of that they are dependent on me. No, they are dependent on the Lord, not me. Then, what are other symptoms? Sometimes the idea to prove there is no God, nature is everything, science is everything, is also creeping from the nature of envy. The idea to prove that there is no God in control, no God as the creator, is actually emerging from an envious nature of the jiva. Then the idea, why go to temple? Why worship God in temple? Is also because of envious nature, creeping from envy. Why go to temple? Sometimes people say, why go to temple? Why are people being encouraged to go to temple? It's actually creeping from an envious nature. What is your problem if they go to temple? No, God is not only in temple, He is everywhere. Actually, this idea is also originating from envy only. God is everywhere. Prabhupada's argument was, He's everywhere, right? Then why He is not in temple? If He's everywhere, why He's not in temple? So let them go to temple. Why are you stopping them from going to temple? Because you're envious. Just like if one man is very famous and everybody is going to him, you feel envious, right? Sometimes we have seen. I'm saying naturally. In live experience, I'm saying, suppose a minister is there, MLA is there, a current MLA, current minister. You can see always his office is flocked with people, right? All the time. Because we had been meeting such people and we always see whenever we go, always they're filled with people all the time. People become envious. Oh, so many people are going to him. Meaning what? Going to him, actually, what he's thinking is, why not to me? Why they not coming to my home? Why they not coming to my office? And seeking my help, my direction, my influence, my power. Why they not coming to me? So it is that deep. can't even understand and recognize all these things. You say, why construct temples? Why worship God? Why these arrangements of Abhishekam? Why pouring ghee in the yagna? Why this jewelry for the Lord? So many poor people are there. So much need is there. Emerging from an envious nature. So, rather, then, okay, what is the answer for this? It's a very strong argument which we face. Why construct costly temples, or why construct, forget costly, why construct temple alone? What is the need for a temple itself is a question now. Forget big temple. What is the need for a temple only is the question here. Why put jewelry for the Lord? Why such elaborate ornaments of offerings to the Lord? So much poverty is there. So many people are suffering. What is God doing? Sitting and doing nothing there. You see? So many attacks on God. All let that the list, I can whole bathroom class will go on like this. So now we know whether we are envious of God or not. Just to address this one point, because it's a little important point. So why construct temple? Why do so much of offerings to the Lord? Why pour ghee in the yagna? Why give jewelry to the Lord? So many poor people. The thing is, Prabhupada says he calls temples as oases. You know oasis? In a desert, oasis means one small patch of water, one corner. And that is the life-saving drink. It's not that in desert you get, bottles and bottles of water. You're not next to Kaveri River. You are in a desert. You get one few drops of water. It will be amrit for you, isn't it? So that's called oasis. Similarly, in the parched hearts of the living entities who are breeding all these kind of poisonous trees in their heart, like envy, greed, jealousy, the oasis of Krishna consciousness is the only solace. Temples are needed to pacify such envious souls, to purify those envious uh, natures of the jiva, because this envy, greed, jealousy actually weighs very heavily in the heart. Weighs very heavily in the heart. It creates a lot of stress in the person. No medicines will work. No medication is found and cannot be found. Bhagavad Gita, becoming free from envy is the only possibility. That means only by becoming Krishna conscious. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana. Sarvair gunais tatra samasite suraha. Only if you become Krishna conscious, God conscious, then this envy will not remain in the devotee. If you become a devotee. Otherwise, it is not at all possible by any material means. So, when we become free from envy and free from the ill nature of an undesirable nature of desiring ill fortune to others, actually his mind will be filled with a lot of very heavy feelings. He cannot be happy. He is desiring unhappiness for the other person, rather he himself will be unhappy. That's why here it is described by Yayati, for for a person who has conquered these things, all directions appear happy. All directions appear happy. These are the devotees of the Lord who travel the length and breadth of the world, taking risk, meeting all envious persons, jealous persons, and give them the mercy of Krishna consciousness. So I'll stop here. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, प्रभुपाद की जय.